Hey folks, your OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and unboxing impressions of the DYU F12. This is a e-bike or electronic bike that you can find on GearBest, sometimes as low as $280 when it goes on flash sale, making it one of the most affordable options currently on the market. It has an extremely portable design that we'll talk about a little bit more when we actually get it open and of course the full review, and it comes in two colors, black or white. Otherwise, it has a 4,400 milliamp hour capacity battery that is rated to go roughly 15 kilometers on a single charge, and it takes about 2 hours to completely charge up the battery here. It is a waterproof bike, of course, and has a working temperature of 10 to 45 degrees Celsius, and there's also a special companion app which you can download to take a look at things like cruise control, battery management, your speed, and then manage those statistics later on. Other specifications include a 350 watt motor, which is powerful enough for the bike to go up to 30 kilometers an hour for top speed, and it can support a maximum weight of 120 kilograms, which is also, again, pretty impressive for something relatively small. And before we jump into the actual unboxing process, here's what kind of the screen on GearBest for the description looks like, and you can see that indeed it is waterproof, which means you can still ride it in turbulent weather. The bike's wheels themselves, again, 12 inches, is decent enough that you can ride it comfortably even when there's a bit of rain, as well as when there's some gravel and roughness on the floor. And again, this is what the bike looks like. So definitely very unique. It does have tail lights and front lights as well, so people can see you when you're actually riding this bike around. Alright, so next let's go back and take a closer look at what we have in the packaging. First impressions after opening up the top of the box would be it's surprisingly assembled when you first look inside. So aside from some of the optional accessories like handlebars, you can see that the wheels, the actual mount has also been already assembled. So all you need to do is take it out of this packaging and you're basically ready to go. So again, it's not too complicated as far as the setup process is concerned. Also in the same pouch, we have the charging adapter. So you can see that this is what it looks like. It's actually fairly portable, just like the bike itself, which makes it easy to tuck into a backpack and take with you. It looks like a laptop charger. There's an LED indicator light for power status. And it seems like the adapter that we have here has the European prong, but you can use a converter, and there's also versions with the US adapter as well. So this is the instruction manual. Again, you can quickly look at it for contents of the packaging as well as how to set it up and some basic specifications and safety regulations to keep in mind. Alright, so going back to the bike now, we've taken it out of the compartment here, and this is what it looks like with the protective foam still covered, and you can see that indeed it is very portable. It's been folded down including the handlebar, so you can easily carry it with you inside of buildings, and so again it's going to be a lot more portable than a full-sized regular bike, even though the seat itself can be adjusted to a regular height for comfortable riding. A quick jump cut, and this is what the bike looks like with all the protective foam removed, and also a quick correction. What I previously said was the handles is actually the footrest, and you simply screw this on very simply. It just takes about 10 seconds on either side. You can see that this is what the stop looks like for it to not tip over on one side of the wheel. You can see there are guards also on the wheel which are crafted out of aluminum, so it feels actually quite sturdy, and again the frame itself is made out of aluminum as well, so pretty good construction quality. The centerpiece here is where all the battery as well as the Bluetooth module, the smart chips are located, and underneath this flap, which you need to have covered up to be element resistant, is where you'll find the charging port, and it simply closes up like so. This is the handle where you carry the bike when everything is collapsed, and again this is the top with the handles which can be folded down when you don't want to use it. On the side here we can also tell that this is where the headlights as well as the tail lights are located. It looks actually fairly attractive. Guards themselves are made out of plastic, and you can find them both on the front as well as on the back of the bike. Alright, so if we go over here now to the top of the bike and pan slowly, we can see that the grips themselves are made out of rubber and they feel relatively comfortable. What you'll find here is a very simplified or a rudimentary dashboard of sorts that actually contains a small, very small kind of LCD display. So This allows you to very quickly gauge the speed that you're going at, as well as the distance, some basic specifications like that. And for more advanced controls, of course, you can use Bluetooth on your phone to connect. There's also a cruise control key, and then over here you have some additional switches for quick controls of speed and power, and there's also a horn that you can use to sound an alarm or siren in the case of an emergency. So everything seems to be fairly functional as far as the design is concerned. And again, the first impressions seem to be fairly positive and, again, pretty attractive for such a small portable bike. So here's the app for the DYU bike. It works with all of their collection of electronic bikes, and it's going to detect using Bluetooth the model. You tap on it to pair, it takes just about 10 seconds. Bluetooth is automatically turned on when the bike is on, and from here you can see the speed. It's a speedometer that tells you in kilometers per hour how fast it's going, up to 30 km per hour. I can tap on this once to lock the tires on the bike. The default password again is 123456, and afterwards it's going to change the symbol here to a locked symbol, and what happens is now if you try to move the bike, there's going to be a very strong resistance to movement. It doesn't prevent someone from physically taking it, picking it up, and then trying to carry it somewhere, but that's why you would still want another layer of security by having a traditional mechanical bike lock that you would purchase. But this is a electronic lock that works with the brakes and the tires, and it actually works quite well. I can take a look at the miles ridden in this particular session, and also total miles that you have logged on the bike's entire history, as well as how long it's been turned on right now. So I can swipe up again to exit out of that particular page. Down below here there are a few other icons. Tap on settings, that gives me a few other adjustments, so I can change things like speed all the way to 30 km per hour. Default is 20 as the max speed. Setup settings, I can change the password lock for locking the tires, cruise control settings, headlights, so I can toggle this on or off. Automatic just means there's going to be a detection. When it gets dark enough, it will turn on automatically. There's also basic information and also a vehicle self-inspection guide that will very quickly go through and tell you if the brakes, handles, batteries, controllers are all working properly. So pretty advanced, and kind of feels like an actual car in that regard. Finally, down below here there is kind of GPS services, so that uses the GPS module to tell you your current location. You can log a session and it will record you in the map. One last final tip is that the handlebar here can also be adjusted. So if I turn this knob upwards and flip it, this entire bar can be rotated left or right. So I can adjust that in case the display is a little bit too difficult to read. I can pull this entire bar upwards to face me. So for instance, if I pull this up, I can now adjust this bar like so it becomes more forward-facing, and vice versa for these controls. The brake is located here on the left, and on the right I can also twist this for additional controls in terms of the speed adjustment. So that's our unboxing first impressions look at the DYU F12 e-bike. It's technically a smart bike as well because it has that Bluetooth app that connects to your smartphone. It has a very peculiar and cute looking design that makes it portable but also very sturdy from a construction perspective. And I like the overall look as well as how it's put together, as well as the features on paper seem to be quite strong, at least for this fairly low cost price of under $300. So you can check out more details about this in our upcoming review, which will contain more performance testing as well as more details. But for now, this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews.